Well, business owner turned author. Our next guest is sharing his family's history in a newly published book called Tangled Branches. It is set here in Johnson City and can be found now at Barnes & Noble. Joining us now, the book's author and friend of the show, William Bailey, no stranger to daytime. Nice to have you back.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course, you're well known in the community, sat on a lot of boards, and business owner, knew him from holidays and chocolates and flowers. And I guess I know now what you've been doing since you went ahead and sold the shop.
Yes, ma'am, since I retired.
Wow. So this is a long book. This is like, and you've been really writing this book. You said it kind of wrote itself. It's your family story.
Yes.
Although you're not, you admit you're not a historian. It's just your sort of perspective.
Right. I had grown up with my father telling me the family stories in the garden and the tobacco fields as we worked. And then after my parents both died, I realized I was the only one who still knew them. And when they passed, my sisters encouraged me to destroy old family records. You know, you can't let anyone learn that this happened in our family. And I decided if we were so afraid of the topics of our family history, that was exactly what I wanted to talk about. And so I wrote out the family history and told how the family farm was a station in the Underground Railroad, how my great-grandmother was selling whiskey to Al Capone here in town. I didn't even just say that we did it, but in the book I laid out how we did it.
And to do it, you also reconnected with a family that's been part of your family for over 150 years.
Yes.
The grandsons.
The grandson of my mother's maid.
And it started not well.
No.
But you found a path.
There was a negotiated pathway to mutual understanding. We both left with different perspectives of the family history. I had to tell him, he came hunting for his family, his history. It wasn't talked about in his family. He was the African American. And we had to take it back to when Matilda was purchased 150 years ago. Slavery existed in the family for 40 years, was freed before the Civil War. We were abolitionists, but you could not talk about that. You go back 50 years and it was taboo and hush. Nobody wanted to talk about slavery. No one wanted to talk about the family staying together after the Civil War. And it just, there was so much intertanglement that's where the name Tangled Branches came from. But it was time to just let it out.
And so, do you think for both families it was therapeutic to be able to learn from, maybe?
Yes. But it's also, there will be another story from their perspective eventually come out. So, but it's okay. It's okay.
You think that it's important to continue to understand and learn from our past?
Yes. And I've realized that in many of the old Southern families, we're destroying systematically our history. When parents die and grandparents, we can't let anyone find out this happened in our family. So we destroy the old journals and diaries and letters and deeds. And I went the opposite direction. Let's bring it all out and let's learn from it. So.
And it's gone over very well, I understand.
Well, it's in 72 languages, and we've sold a little over 300,000 copies. So, yeah, I think it's going well.
Wow. And based, obviously, right here.
Yes. The family farm was the intersection of 81 and 26. The clover leaf was dropped right in the middle of the farm. And then they moved into town onto Yanake Avenue and what's now Fox and Farmer. And so those are the two locations where the book is set.
Interesting. Well, we'll give everybody the information. Good to have you on the show, William.
Thank you.
It is called Tangled Branches by William Bailey, as we mentioned. It is available on Amazon.com. You can also find it on BarnesandNoble.com.